square base plate. That's what we're going to create in this particular video. This is a solution to your assignment, and you can see an example of the solution here. It's square, it's a base plate. And we're just going to start up by giving ourselves a new model, and of course we're just going to save it to our desktop in our appropriate folder. Let's call it square base plate. So now we want to orient our screen. And so let's just work from the top. So now that we have our top selected, we want to go ahead and draw a rectangle. So we're using our rectangle sketch tool. And from there, we want to constrain this object. And what you're going to see now, I'm just going to go through a process of trying to constrain this thing to the origin. I want to put the lower left-hand corner of the square at the origin of the datum coordinate system right there. So I want to put it. So I'll do this one time and then just go back and use the same thing. I'm going to select the bottom portion and then I'm going to select the place where I want to place this. And it's you'll notice that it's at its origin, and that's great. And I'll just do this one more time, just for example, let's orient this again. So now that it's oriented, we are just going to go to our geometric constraints. We want to select on point on a curve, and then select the object to constrain and where we want to constrain it to. Okay, and then we'll do that one more time, and we're going to select the horizontal and then constrain to the horizontal datum. All right, and let's just fit this to the screen so we can see everything. Now at this point we want to go ahead and place some fillets on this. We've done this before, so let's go ahead and put fillets all the way around. So you see we're selecting on both sides and then in the middle to establish a fillet. Okay. And we're going to, we want to constrain the sides here. So I'm just going to close that. All we have to do is just wait until we have an icon that looks like. So you see the mouse, the arrow protruding from it. Once we're at that location, we can just constrain this by setting each side to be equal. We're going to fit the screen. Then we're going to do the same thing for the fillets. So now we have our curved equal radius. So now we're almost there. It's pretty good. Next thing we want to do is we want to put some holes into this particular sketch, and we're going to use our center circle method. So we start at the center and then we go out. We click center and then we drag out, click, release the click and then drag out, click and then release the click and drag out. So now we have 4 circles. Okay, of course we're going to constrain those as well with equal radius. So we're going to follow the same procedure here. You see our little arrows sticking out. And then we want our curved equal signs. So each one of those will have an equal radius. Okay. Now we want to do some rapid dimensioning. So we're going to select the horizontal, and then we're going to give this 100 millimeters. So now if it's 100 millimeters on one side, it'll be that way all the way around. And now we need to switch out or change the radius of the curve. We want to set the radius of the curve or the fillet curve, and then we want to set the radius of the circle. So we're setting the radius of the circle, and Now let's set the radius of the fillet curve. And this is going to be, I think, 18. The circle was 10 millimeters. Oh, both of them are 10. Okay. Now, oh, no, one is 8. I can't really see what that is. But I'll see it once I move that out. So you see we have our radius there. The radius of the circle is 8 millimeters and the radius of the fillet is 10 millimeters. Notice that all sides are the same. Everything should be fully constrained. So let's just save this file. Next thing we want to do is extrude. And once we extrude, we want this to be 5 millimeters thick. And we're just going to say OK. And then when we rotate it, you'll see we have 5 millimeters, a 5 millimeter thick plate. Now we're going to go through this testing process where we look at, well, what happens if we change the size of one side. Will all of them change? And then what will happen if we change the size of our circle? What will happen if we change the size of our fillet? We want to see what's going to happen. So if you have a design in mind, the idea is that it's scalable. So we're going to double click on that and we are going to input 75 and you see that all sides went down to 75. Now we are looking at the radius of the circle and we want to change that to 4. Okay. And then we're looking at the radius of the fillet and we're going to change this to 20. And so you'll see that things are changing accordingly and all of them are changing. How about the thickness of the plate? The thickness of the plate, we can change that as well. And let's change that to, I believe, 15. Okay. And now if we rotate it, you'll see the scale, the design in mind. And that's pretty much it. Once you're done with this, just make sure you upload your part, okay? And have a great day.